Good afternoon, and praise the Lord. My name is Wycliffe, or if you like, you can call me Wiki. I am excited to be part of the Unashamed conversation, and I join Teacher Patrick in bringing to us the reflections for the day. This is the Unashamed series. Today I want to draw attention to another set of young people in the Bible. The focus has been Timothy, but today let me draw your attention to some 4 young men in the Bible who exemplifies very strong courage and evidently were really unashamed of what they believed in. Please go with me to the book of Daniel chapter 1 from verse 1 following, but let me first focus largely on verse 8 and following. And allow me to read. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's delicacies, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the chief of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and goodwill of the chief of the eunuchs. The chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear my lord, the king who has appointed your food and drink. For why should he see your faces looking worse than the young men who are your age? Then you would endanger my head before the king. So Daniel said to the steward whom the chief of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, please test your servants for 10 days, and let them give us vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance be examined before you and the appearance of the young men who eat the portion of the king's delicacies, and as you see it fit, so deal with your servant. This is a record of 4 young men who found themselves in exile, and while in exile, they were subjected to some expectations that they were convinced were not fitting and in tandem with what they believed was God's will. And Daniel, being the leader among them, was quick to confidently declare that they would not want to defile themselves. One of the things that you would note about Daniel is that though he had an opportunity to enjoy some delicacies, you can be sure that the king's meal is no joke, but because they knew it would go against their faith and what they believed God expected of them, though in a bit of a vulnerable position of being slaves, he did not give in to that, but he was confident to take his stand, especially because he knew that they were doing that because of the God they believed in. And with great confidence, unashamed of their faith, they took their stand. But one of the things that I would want to draw your attention to is that Daniel was respectful, but very firm and confident, and he was not ashamed to take a stand. And he was bold enough to tell the king, the eunuch who was in charge of these young men, that they should even test him. Now, one of the things that I like about his confidence is that he knew that he would lose out on delicacies, but he was excited rather to lose out on a delicacy, but yet please God. Being courageous and unashamed will come at a cost. And therefore, for Daniel and the 3 other friends, they were willing to lose something that they knew was not pleasing to God to gain God's favor and lose out on the king's sort of favor. But yet, in their courage, God did not make them lose. Rather, they gained. When they took their stand, not to compromise their faith, it worked for them. Guys, sometimes when we are tested to courageously stand for our faith, it is normally an opportunity to decide whether to give up something or not to give up. I am calling on us today. Every day, I'm sure, in our world of being here, we'll be presented every day with an opportunity to make a choice, to either stand for what is of God or lose it at the expense of some delicacies. I call on you to be like a Daniel and Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, to be confident, even when we find ourselves in circumstances where we are vulnerable or we are seemingly weak. When we stand for the Lord, He eventually comes through for us and we come out stronger and better. Please, good guys, be strong and courageous. Be unashamed of the faith. You not lose, though initially it looks like you're losing. For Daniel and the friends to eat vegetables, it looked like they were losing out. But when you lose out for the moment for the Lord, ultimately you gain. The Lord bless you as you take your stand to not compromise your faith. The Lord bless you. Please be courageous, be unashamed for the Lord. The Lord bless you.